I'm so glad you came. This is super cool. First of all, thank you to Robbie, the ghost, right? Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you to Frog Legs. Wonderful set. So glad that you was a part of it. So, there's a new record. There's a new Endless Mike and the Beagle Club record that came out yesterday. That's right, yeah. And it's called The Forest is the Trees, and it's a very bandy record, and I wish that they were here in full. I know they'd rather be than not, and think it's kind of weird that I'm playing a release show without them, and they're not wrong. What a diva. But I don't know, I wanted to celebrate it. You know, it was a long time in the making. It was a lot of work, but it was fun work. But we put it out ourselves, and we had friends who recorded it, and I'd love very much for you to hear it. I'm excited for you to hear it if you haven't yet. But yeah, what we did was we rented out a decommissioned Catholic cathedral in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, in the West End. And there's a thing there, an organization called the Steeples Project. And they have bought some of these old churches, because there's a lot of them in Cambria City. And they bought all these old churches, and they're going to renovate them to be theater spaces and art spaces and stuff like that. And so we rented that for 9 days, and we put together 16 songs, and 11 of them are on the record. And if you don't mind, here's how I'd like to do this tonight. I'd like to play the 5 that didn't make the cut, and you'll be like, yeah, I can see why they didn't. Because then I'm going to play the record, and you'll be like, yeah, I can see why that didn't make the cut. But maybe in between, if you feel like it, little Q&A, little hanging out, whatever you want to do. But I really am happy you're here. And this first song is quite literally for the all of you. If you wanna be a simple song, I'll be your opening line. If you wanna be an airborne ranger, I will be your sky. If you wanna be a politician, I will be your bold-faced lie. If you wanna be a cop, I will be your excessive force. If you wanna be an executioner, I'll be your remorse. If you wanna be a survivor, I will be the cleansing fire that you walk through. I just wanna be a part of you. If you wanna be a solo singer, I will be your backup band. If you wanna be a philosophy major, I will be your backup plan. If you wanna be a patriot, I will be your head in the sand. If you wanna be whatever. That's why they're not on here. I haven't played them in a while. If you wanna be I will be your shotgun. If you wanna be a teenage wasteland, I'll be your bag full of glue. I just wanna be a part of you. If you wanna be a pendulum, I will be your pit. If you wanna be an influencer, I'll be your who gives a shit. If you wanna be a former smoker, I will be the time you finally quit. And the next time that you start again, if you wanna be a CEO, I'll be your corruption. If you wanna be a train of thought, I'll be your interruption. If you wanna be the beginning of the end, I'll be your 1492. I just wanna be a part of you. I just wanna be a part of you. If you wanna be a simple song, I'll be your closing line. Thank you. Well, Sheets are hiring managers.
I work at Sheets.
There you go.
My manager did just quit.
Well, hey. Thank you for your service. Is right. All right. Here we go. This is. So some of these were already kind of released as singles, but like I said, they were recorded for it or written for it, or the plan was to put them on there. The rest of them, the ones that aren't on the record, they'll come out eventually as something else. Probably. Actually, we're thinking of a 7-inch series, but they'll also be around and stuff. So eventually, that'll be there. And there's a not as good version. The recording's good, but the performance is not. On Bandcamp. It's called A Simple Song, so if you want to find that, that's where it is. This is called He-Man and Skeletor. It's about my brother and me. It's about growing up as a weird kid and staying a weird adult. My heart is pounding in my chest as I'm standing here with all the rest of all these restless kids in this by now closed down department store. My thoughts are racing in my mind as I stand in the receiving line to shake hands with He-Man and Skeletor. Good and evil come to me as subtle as an M16, as loud as lines of moonlight streaking all across my bedroom floor, while lead-based clouds blow off the plains with bellies full of acid rain. We're stuck inside with He-Man and Skeletor. Well, it's a love that has no equal. It's a love that has no end. When I stand in final judgment, well, I go to Castle Grayskull or Snake Mountain. Could you repeat the question, please? While you were teaching Socrates, my mind was listing every single word I know that rhymes with orange. While you were in the cave with Plato, was it just me or did all those shadows kinda look like He-Man and Skeletor? Well, I've been a dead ringer for horseshoes. I've been a high-end hand grenade. When I finally meet the toy maker, I'll thank the sorceress for all the poor choices that I've made. General George Washington ate caviar while the Minutemen were chewing boiled leather in their darkest nights of Valley Forge. It only cost them one good hip, but Jacob never lost his grip in 10 rounds with He-Man and Skeletor. So what's a couple more while I'm standing in this store, shaking hands with He-Man and Skeletor? Thank you. That is a true story. It's important that you know that. All right. Okay, this one is called... This is called Escape from Alcatraz, and it is definitely one that I've played very rarely. So let's see how it goes. Down at the pier, I'm talking to someone. I said, I think that I know where this comes from. This morbid fascination with man-made tragedy. 2,209 people died in the Johnstown flood of 1889, and that's something I've always carried close to me. The next thing I know, I'm on a boat on my way to a prison on an island in the middle of the bay. I already know the answer, still I feel the need to ask. Has anyone ever escaped from Alcatraz? It wasn't all that long ago, Prohibition era Chicago. The rise and fall and the all-time low of Scarface Al Capone. His syphilitic brain was filled full of holes. He spent his last days fishing in a swimming pool. So far gone, they just let him go home. The last thing he knew, he was on a boat on his way from a prison on an island in the San Francisco Bay. I already know the answer, I feel the need to ask, is that the only way to escape from Alcatraz? I saw the red power graffiti, the burned out warden's quarters too. I stole a magnet out of the gift shop just cause it felt like the right thing to do. I saw the tunnels that they told me had been dug out by the hands that built a lifeboat out of raincoats and were never seen again. Oh, and they probably drowned, but I think that counts as a win. I thought about everywhere we've gone and everywhere we could have been. Now I'm on the boat on the way back, talking to the same somebody after the fact, and I said, I am in favor of total abolition, restorative justice, complete overhaul of the system. And he's like, I don't know about all of that. Does anyone ever escape from Alcatraz? Again, that was a little... So I did want to put that one on there, but it has a buddy. It has a buddy, and the buddy wasn't going on there, so. This is the buddy, all right? I'm going to play it for you. It's called Both Coasts, and it is... that one and that and the last one, this one and the last one were going to be part of this like travelogue kind of thing I bought. It was going to be like a travelogue, you know. And I bought books about explorers and shipwrecks and stuff like that. And I was pilgrims, you know, not New England pilgrims, like Middle Eastern pilgrims on pilgrimages. And it was going to be stuff like that, but about like, you know, Alcatraz and wherever we ended up. But then the more I was putting it together, the more it felt like it would just be forcing someone to sit through family vacation slideshows. So it sort of fell to the wayside and was replaced by the new record. But this is part of that was on there. This is called Both Coasts. In the flashing of the red and the blue lights, cutting through the purple night, I realize nothing gets a rise out of me anymore. I hear the crying of the ignorant car horns. Something like a siren towards the airport, but that ain't gonna move me, that's for sure. But I'm still naive enough to believe that there's a cure for when I don't know where to go when I'm walking. I don't know what to say when I'm talking. I'm falling back into the same old patterns I was living before. I'm thinking about changing my scenery. People used to tell me that traveling looked good on me, one foot in front of the other, till I stand on the shore. Stare out at the sea and think about me until I'm bored. I'm gonna see both coasts this summer. I'm gonna see both coasts this summer. I'm gonna stand under both of the suns. I'm gonna take in both of the weathers. I'm gonna wade into both of the oceans. Leave a part of me in one and a part of myself in the other. I'm gonna see both coasts this summer. Thinking about changing my scenery. I'm gonna see both coasts this summer. I'm gonna wade into both of the waves. I'm gonna pull myself together, or else I'll dig myself a couple of graves. Leave a part of me in one and a part of myself in the other. I'm gonna see both coasts this summer. All right. This is one that was put out like as a single or whatever, but it was recorded in the same place. It's, here we go. Baby puts down the bottle, tells his mama what she wants to hear. She knows it's all just babble, but still it makes her grin from ear to ear. These kids grow up so quick, she thinks, feels like it was only just last year. The baby dropped out of business school, wrecked his liver and had to move back here. There was a time I would have defended them, but I don't argue like I used to do. It's hard to hold convictions when you know not much of anything is true. Listen, I don't mean to brag, but it's been moments since the last fit that I threw. Of course, it's easy to be easy when you stand in shit and hold the shovel too. But that's not me, for real. It's just the way I feel. I spend my evenings driving hopelessly, aimlessly around. The price of fuel keeps rising at the same rate that my pay keeps going down. Oh, hear my prayer, oh GPS, help me on this hunt for holy ground. I just can't seem to lose myself. No matter how I try, I still get found. But that's not me, for real. It's just the way I feel it in my footsteps, hear it in my joints, I can see it in my eyes. It's always right outside the focal point. I put these childish things away into a box where they belong. And it's right around then everything went wrong. But on my best days I still labor to be somewhere between Springsteen and Nick Cave. Oh yeah. I grab my pen and paper and I puke out purple prose and gold lame. Is my least bad work behind me? Sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes I think I've had enough, and other times enough's okay. But that's not me, for real. That's just the way that I feel. And sometimes it's hard to tell them apart, and I don't trust it any further than I can throw it. But believe me, I can throw it pretty far. Thanks very much. All right, last one that didn't make the cut. They're not so bad. That ain't the problem. And they just don't fit, you know? But they'll come out at some point. And man, wait till you hear that band on it. Wait till you hear the Beagle Club on it. Although I'm just thinking about what they do the whole time, being like, oh, what am I doing up here by myself? But all right. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, Ringo, George and Paul came into a world that thought that it had heard it all. Now we're staring down a future that seems way too big to change. Some of my favorite songs to sing are way outside my range. Kate and Davis, Matt and Lacey, Derek and Lindsay, Tim and Justin, John and Elizabeth, Laura, Beth, and me, taking turns who plays the rhythm and who sings the melody. Well, some of my favorite songs have unexpected harmony. There was your brother and your sister and your father and your mom. Then you burst on the scene one day like a nuclear bomb, burning shadows into siding, blowing away that picket fence. Well, some of my favorite songs have parts that don't even make sense. When the passages are narrowing and the movement never ends, you keep calling in for backup, but the band never kicks in. Oh, and nothing looks familiar on that path laid out before us. Some of my favorite songs don't even bother with a chorus. No, some of my favorite songs don't make a sound when they fall down in the forest. Thank you. Perfect segue, I say, into The Forest is the Trees, the new record. So, anybody want to talk about anything before I get after it? A little Q&A. All right, here we go. Imagine the world's greatest band behind me. Straw into gold spinners, you're the big winners. That's how it starts, but I'm playing at a different key so that I don't blow my voice out, but I didn't catch it. Oh, and I want to say, too, that this is being recorded. Every time we've made a record, we also make a version of it called Endless Mike versus the Beagle Club, and that's the solo recording of me playing the songs without the band. You are here at the recording of this version, this album's Endless Mike versus the Beagle Club. So thanks for being here for that. Straw into gold spinners, you're the big winners, and today looks like lottery day. God reached his hand down into that garbage disposal and he pulled out the orange peel attached to your name. There's no credit or craft that's gonna block out this draft. This is the rich man's Vietnam. One thing's for certain, there will be no deferment in the days of the atom bomb. Now, if you don't like the look of something, call it a lie until your lie starts to look like a fact. And if you don't like the taste, just spit it out on your plate. But the waitress this time, she ain't taking it back. The debate still rages over livable wages, kept frozen to keep the whole pyramid strong. There will be no relief in the microwave heat of the days of the atom bomb. Get your board of directors on the intercom. Take turns telling each other that you did nothing wrong. What's the harm in a little white lie, when in the blink of an eye it'll all be gone? This kingdom will come, we all will be done. On earth as it is, there'll be nowhere to run. We're living in the days of the atom bomb. We're living in the days of the atom bomb. And I never thought I'd live to see you, live to see the light. Forward momentum has a way of making everything alright. We're gonna rock around the doomsday clock tonight. 'Cause some things are black and white. I'm sorry, but some things are black and white. There's nothing but cockroaches left. Let's hope they come up with something better than this. I thought I made a connection with a communist cutie on farmersonly.com. Before my greedy hands could reach her, she said, I won't be your teacher, your mistress, your mattress, your maid, or your mom. I said, our hearts, they got nothing to lose but their change. She said, that's a pretty bourgeoisie. Come on, there's no game you could step up to save yourself from the days of the atom bomb. Madam Justice, she's a cruel mistress, and I think she's done with that whole rag thing over the eyes. She deserves her revenge. We deserve whatever she sends down from out of the sky. We pulled our own beds, loaded our own guns. Ready or not, here comes the day of two suns. We're living in the days of the atom bomb. We're living in the days of the atom bomb. The days of the atom bomb. We're living in the days of the atom bomb. So come on, bring it on. 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 So come on, bring it on, bring it on. Please, 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 please bring it on. So come on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. That's my man, Jude. Yeah, this is like the chill out room, you know, if it gets to be a bit much, right? You understand. And it's open to anybody. For real, if you need a little break. Let me tune this up. All y'all guitar players, you know how the capo gets. Did everybody get their book? Follow along, sing along with me. Sure. All right. I don't even know where I first heard this, but if ever the elevator that you're standing in starts falling, if you time it right and jump at the last second, there's a chance you will survive. Common sense might tell me that's not true. God forbid I ever find myself inside those fallen shoes, with nothing left and nothing left to lose. I wonder if I'd try it. Well, at least I'd have a good story to tell. You know, believers go to heaven while the real ones go to hell. And that's something that you never learn in school. There are worse things than looking like a fool. While stumbling through a world beyond control, I turn on my TV to see these people storm the Capitol, and I just sat there thinking, bless my soul, I always thought it would be our side, while waiting for the cops to take the call. Oh, in sick anticipation of the cracking of their skulls. But of course that never happened after all. This was a hateful sea of white. I used to think we'd love our way out of this mess. You know, believers turn to anarchy, and then they turn depressed. God forgive us now for following the rules. 'Cause there are worse things than looking like a fool. Oh, but I can still remember watching Liz that time she tried to save a mouse that drowned inside a coffee cup. Sometimes when I think of that, it makes me give a nervous laugh, and other times makes me fall in love with the world again. So I will run the risk of tempting fate, and when the elevator's fallen, I will take my leap of faith. This is called the Pearly Gates of Grandview Cemetery. Grandview Cemetery is the largest, the big cemetery in Johnstown, specifically where there's the plot of all the unmarked, unknown people who died in the 1889 flood. It goes out to all the Johnstown expats in the house tonight, and I've seen quite a few of them. Because we still, you know, you always love it, but it's time to go. All my English psychologists all up in this perfectly pointless display. I think that I just remembered why I keep on forgetting your names. When the sun goes down and the screen turns off and there is nothing new between my ears. Even when I close my eyes, I know that the darkness is still right here. It was a slow-moving morning, a comfortable warning, a soft declaration of need, drowned out by the spinning of newspaper stories that no one would bother to read. With your hooks, you're alluring. With your outdated pop culture references, you're such a charlotte. Really working that sense of entitlement. Baby, let me borrow it. When the invisible hand fits like a glove on the places that built you and once held you up. At some point it gets easier just to shake it, then to shake it. Shake it, then to shake it off. But I dream of a city on a hillside with places to go and with people to meet. I dream of a highway with roadside attractions I'd want to slow down to see. I dream of a Salvation Army marching band playing bad to the bone, while the pearly gates of Grandview call me home. I was all dressed and ready, all set to set sail out to sea at the dawn's early light, when I remembered that I had a speech to deliver to an empty mirror that night. I didn't rehearse my lines or bother running it by for review from a jury of peers, 'cause I know even when I open my eyes that the blinding light is still right here, when the best of intentions and the worst of ambitions are locked in a closet forever in heaven. If I knew how to play violin, I would be violently playing right now. But someone's pulling the strings with one hand on our necks and the other on a neat little bow. And although in the church. I was raised in the steeple. I'm still ringing the bells. But where are the people? Oh, 'cause all I get is a town in a valley with no one around it, with nowhere to go. All I get is an alley with buildings on fire that I wouldn't even spit out the window. But I still dream of a teenage dirtbag garage band changing the world as they play. While the pearly gates of Grandview turn me away. While the rusty gates of Grandview slam in my face. While the open graves of Grandview forget my name. Ever since I seen the light, I can only make out shapes of an evolutionary line that maybe should have ended with the apes. And I am thinking about the things that I might need: a steady hand, a good book, and a can of gasoline. Anything that might be helpful in aiding and abetting an escape. No need to narrow this one down, the process is eliminated. I taste metal in my mouth, this can't be apathy, I must just be alienated, designated to share the blame in this, I guess. 'Cause given all our history, man, what did I expect? But still I keep on getting let down by a system that I never validated. Can you believe this whole thing hangs on a ballet dancer's shoulders, who was spinning off the hands of everyone who ever tried but cannot hold her, and the older generation failed her too. Grinning happily, we're gonna leave these questions up to you, only to sneer at her and jeer at her each time she comes back at them even bolder. And I am low down in my seat, hoping she knows I really see her, hoping she really sees me when it's my turn, mixing memory with meter. And my fingers, they hold steady on the chords, and the pounding in my head sounds like the coming of the Lord. And then a sweet soul-sucking silence sweeps right through this place like fire in a theater. And my heart keeps sinking, 'cause I keep on thinking something's either true or it is not true. And if that's true, then what are we gonna do? All together on our knees in the sandbox of our youth. What did you find? Let me see. You wanna trade me that there eye for this here tooth? But if you substitute a mirror for the facts and decide you're gonna try to draw a line to you from that, well, that's like building your own prison, always downward, always starting with the roof. Just look around you if you need more proof. That was called Escape to the Planet of the Apes. Unfortunate that Escape from Alcatraz and the other one that went with it. Yeah, but you see what I mean? You can only have so many. All right. This is called Difficult People. Don't think you always have to take the easy way with difficult people. Don't ever try to help them pull a camel through the eye of a needle. Don't ever place your trust in anyone who doesn't love the Beatles. Unless you don't love the Beatles, then you get what you deserve. Never a doubt that that one was going to be on the record. Quality stuff. All right, this is one less problem. When we were trying to decide, Cody Wallett's here, by the way, who plays the bass from Endless Mike and the Beagle Club. I was like, "Where's your bass?" And he was like, "No." But when we were trying to put the record together and trying to come up with the track list, we're like, "What about, is One Less Problem going to be on it?" And Cody goes, "If One Less Problem isn't on it, I quit." So, because he has a really good bass line in it. Like putting the weight of the world on the back of a bird and then wondering why it's not flying. It doesn't even look like it's trying. The truth comes barreling towards us, a comet with its brake lines cut. We're backed up by our own Greek chorus. We're singing about anything but alienation. Alienation is a hell of a drug. You end up feeling like a Kafkaesque bug. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a choice. I come crawling around it, the sound of your voice. It's like violins pulling me down the hall by the holes in the sides of my head. With one well-pitched bad apple fastball, I go right back to dying in bed. And I know that the men in your life have been expecting you to fix them ever since the day you were born. And I don't want to be just another thorn in that crown you've worn forever. So whenever I cycle back around here again, I don't know where this one stops and the next one begins, but I know you never feel secure, not knowing which one of me is gonna walk through that door. So let me speak for them both when I say this. It's not that I don't wanna talk, it's just that if I try to explain it, I wouldn't even know where to stop. So let's take it again from the top. I don't want to do this dance till we drop. Give me back my sins, I'll absolve them myself now. Let me be your one less problem. So that's side A. Let me flip it over, right? In between sides, I'd like to acknowledge. Where'd he go? Where's Joe? There he is. Listen, he did all the design stuff for the record. He helped put the book together, the shirt, the everything. No Joe, no record. So give it up for Joe. And to Robert for being here tonight, Robbie Lester. The first tour that I did in, 5 or 6 years was with him, and it made me happy to do it again. And so no Robbie, no record. So. All right. This is called Flight Behavior. Wait to hear Davis. He gets into it. Put on my coat and I pat down my pockets, make sure I got my keys and my mask and my wallet. Try not to set off the alarm when I'm closing the door. Halfway up that mountain of desire, I feel the whole world explode in an unconsuming fire. And I don't believe in signs, at least I didn't before. But there's a small, still voice saying maybe I was made for more. And my heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop, my heart won't stop. My heart can't stop, won't stop. I move to dismiss what I can't understand. I think a man versus nature, man versus man, man versus himself. Is there anything man can be for man? And when I squint my eyes, it almost seems perfect. Got a house and a life and I love the people in it. There's a difference between running away and running towards. These are my options. You either get killed by this life or get cured. And my heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop, my heart won't stop. My heart can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Changes in weather lead to changes in pattern migration. Settling starts to feel more like an occupation. And the times when it all seems gray, these are the times when you gotta be brave. But there are no words. But to no one's surprise, I keep talking anyway. And my heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop, my heart won't stop. My heart can't stop, won't stop. My heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop till I get what I'm after. My heart can't stop, my heart won't stop. My heart can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I wanna be where I am and be alright. I wanna turn back the hands of my midnight. I wanna do what I can with what I have not earned for sure. And if that sweet chariot starts swinging lower, won't you do me a favor and say you don't know where I went, but I'll call when I'm ready, not a moment before. 'Cause there's a small still voice saying maybe, just maybe I was made, just maybe I was made for more. You having fun? Is this going all right? Here we go. Oh, and there we go. Hey, I never get nervous or anxious or anything about playing shows ever. I don't tell you that to brag because it's actually kind of sociopathic, and narcissistic. I don't, but I am human after all because I have been to do this show. So, but you're making me feel just fine. So thank you guys. This is called The Neighborhood Kids. Right, Cody? The Neighborhood Kids comes next? It better. What's in the book? Does it say The Neighborhood Kids? It's The Neighborhood Kids? The neighborhood kids took some sidewalk chalk and they drew a big face. They laid it down in the middle of the road, saying, please don't kill / run me over, thanks. So sorry I'm late, but I had to find a new way to go. The power line poles look like crucifixions, and this is the pattern. Thief, then a thief, then nothing on every third one. Circling this town like the rings of Saturn. Do you ever think about where the light in your light bulb comes from? But me, I'm standing in a hallway, reaching my arms out, looking for the limits, 'cause it's too dark to see. It don't come naturally, flipping on a switch to make it easier on me. Why should I let anything matter when everything must go in the blink of an eye? But I guess that's the perfect reason why. The dishes need done and the dog needs walked and the bags need packed, and the oneness of it all threatens to tear me apart, and my mind needs to sit its ass down before it gives me a heart attack. Nothing worse than waiting for the same day to restart. But me, I wanna sweep off some space, clear off a little real estate. I still recall every 90s pop song I ever heard, but there's gotta be a better use for the storage inside of my brain. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Just say the word. Me, I wanna be a good person, a good partner, a good listener. I wanna be a good friend, a good parishioner. I wanna be a good writer again. Am I setting the bar too high? Is anyone all these things all the time? I think I might be worth another try. The neighborhood kids took some sidewalk chalk and they drew a big face. Laid it down in the middle of the road, saying please don't kill / run me over, thanks. So sorry I'm late, sorry I'm lost, honey I'm home. This is called Nostradamus. John really had to. That was his hill to die on. Nostradamus had to be on here. Told you it was going to happen again. But again, I wasn't playing. It's fine. All right. Nostradamus tried to stop us. Edgar Casey had his crazy ass dreams. We just didn't listen, kept him twisting, left him pissing in the wind. Because the truth is that the future is a choice, and if these voices in the wilderness had anything to offer, then they wouldn't even bother. They'd already know we're gonna blow it off again. And I wanna be better, but I'd never wanna lose heart when the world starts to end. And if I ever get too clever, oh, I hope that you would rope me in again. I understand if this sounds pandering, but listen, sister, you don't need no man to liberate you, validate you, try to tell you you're already free. I got a real plain name. Sometimes I think that I should change to Mary Magdalene. Oh, but that's just a reaction to this deep dissatisfaction with the things I know a Roman ought to be. I wanna be better, but I'd never just accept you to just accept that from me. And if I ever get too clever, it never fails, I still get out of jail for free. Oh, everybody says they're gonna change. Half the time they even believe it. But think about it, how many folks do you know have achieved it? So don't believe it till you see it, or get madder than a hatter when he sees that he is running out of tea. When everyone starts leaving, turns out that's the only reason they were there. Well, it makes me wanna hunt you down and haunt you, launch you from your easy chair, and explain that the chains that you wear are gonna weigh twice as much as mine if you don't take care. Everybody needs to study up on sitting down and shutting up and getting up off their knees. There's no such thing as destiny. Thank you. Two more. If anybody would like to buy a record tonight, I would love that. So we got some here. So come say hi when we're done. Okay, when the show's over, please come say hi. I'm gonna be right there. All right. This is called Jude Francis versus the Moon. When you get older and you have kids, it's like, man, people that write songs forever and then they have kids and they write about their kids and it's so lame, you know, but like, he's awesome. What else was I gonna do? There he is right there in that amazing. Hi, Jude. Yeah. So this is called Jude Francis versus the Moon. Things are a lot different. They're a little different by now, but you'll see it, but it was fun. All right, here we go. Is it okay if I play this one? Yeah? Okay. I don't want to embarrass you. Banana moon, you see me and I see you, but I don't think it's time to say goodnight. I've got better things to do, like run around and watch cartoons and sing the world inside of my mind to life. Banana moon, do you copy? This is Jude, and I know what it means when you appear. You think I'm gonna go to bed? Well, I think I'll go inside my head. Banana moon, they will never find me here. But in the bunk above me, brother's watching over me. I know how much he loves me, so I guess I'll let him sleep. Banana moon, hey, meet me there in mama's room. Let's wake her up and kick dad out of bed. This doesn't have to be goodbye. You could come again some other time, like maybe when it's time for school instead. Here's the kazoo solo. I'm totally serious. Well, I know that you can understand the words I can't quite say, as you listen to me as I plan the details of my perfect day. No occupational therapist, no quiet hands, no TSS, no iPad on the fridge when I'm not nice. Just Peppa Pig and her brother George and Super Mario, of course, and jumping on my trampoline once or twice. Then there's his brother plays a violin solo here, and man, he kills it. You might have seen him taking your money when he came in tonight. That was Jack. If you think you can wait me out until I don't resist, you've got no idea about the force that you are up against. Yeah. Banana moon, do you copy? This is Jude, and this is your last chance to part as friends. I know you've got a job to do. Well, I hate to break this news to you, but this is not a fight you're gonna win. 'Cause I've never known an obstacle that I haven't conquered yet. Thank you. It really does. That song features Jack on the record. He plays the violin. It has my mom and dad, who are here tonight. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for coming. They each play a little handbell. Yeah, we had to get them on it. Which, by the way, no Mom and Dad, no record. So tell them. All right, this is it, y'all. We made it to the very end. This song is called Mr. Miller's Dream. And I love that you were here, and I'm having so much fun. I had so much fun. Please come say hi when we're done if you want to get a record, cool, or a shirt, cool. If you don't, cool, but come and say hi, okay? The Beagle Club leaves for tour on Wednesday, so that's why most of them are not here. Give it up for Cody Wallach, because he's amazing. For Joe Mayako. Give it up for my family and my friends, which is you. Here we go. It's Mr. Miller's Dream. It's a true story. It's also the first one we put together, right, Cody? Well, I love this part of town. It's got a certain kind of charm. It reminds me of my childhood while growing up on the farm. And by farm I just mean parking lots that only sprouted shopping malls, where local stations left out Left Eye's verse when they played Waterfalls, where operators tried to talk you out of placing long distance calls. I took everything that taught me and I packed it in my car, alongside my naivete, my suitcase and guitar. I couldn't tell if they were listening to the words or melody. I couldn't tell if they connected or were even in the room with me. But I can tell you I got my money's worth, at least at all the shows I played for free. But I don't look down and I don't look back. How does anybody ever have the energy energy for that. Sometimes I wonder what I'd think of if I thought about the fact that after all these years I'm still doing this act. After all these years I'm still doing this act. Think about an open highway when I see an open sky. Nothing but my trials and tribulations passing by. And every time somebody's high beams hit my rear view, I reflect upon that classic urban legend with the escaped lunatic hiding and waiting right behind me, while I never so much as suspect. But it's not all good, it's not all bad, it's pretty much all I ever gave or ever had. Sometimes I wonder what I'd think of if I thought about the fact that after all these years I'm still doing this act. After all these years I'm still doing this act. I was the oldest person ever when I walked back through my door. I lay down to dream a dream I've dreamed 1,000 times before. I'm standing in an ancient forest that was never touched by man. A mighty tree is lying there where no one heard it land, and I applaud its effort with the clapping of one hand. And the sound we